Welcome back to Pitch Battle. It's still a very serious cricket show. We might have three cheerleaders sitting right next to us, but we do have a former India captain joining us from Mumbai, chairman of selectors, Krishmanachari Shrikant. And Chika, one thing that I'd like to know, what would you tell people who say that the Indian team is as good not because of the selectors, but because of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, because he ends up selecting the players?
Yes, absolutely. I think Mahendra Singh Dhoni has become a big king and he's selecting everybody, especially Piyush Chawla, and they are asking me about injury. But what is this injury pinjury? I think it's absolute nonsense. On my part, I have prayed and I went and prayed also to Tirupati Balaji that the team will win. But unfortunately, we do not know what is going to happen and who will win. But I must say, all the boys are looking very good in that ad where they got their body painted and some of them are looking very sweet. But I'm afraid if they see Dean Jones like this, they may all run away.
He mentioned Balaji there, and I thought that he's planning to bring Balaji back into the playing 11, but I think he was referring to...
But Nikhil, I think the interesting thing over here is, Sunny, I remember you said once that you would have been very surprised if Shrikant didn't have a cold.
Didn't have a cold.
Didn't have a cold.
He always had a cold. It was almost like a permanent cold that he had, despite the fact that he prayed to the sun god and he would look up to the sun, maybe for the sun's rays to work on the cold. Maybe that was what it was. What do you say, Chika?
Sunny and we go back a long way. Unfortunately, I am only in the way of the selection committee nowadays and it's definitely a problem. And Praveen Kumar is already injured. I am afraid for others. Ashish Nehra, especially when he comes to bowl, he's moving his chest and shoulders like this, half the time. Chest to shoulder, like a South Indian dancer. Sometimes it scares me that he shouldn't have a fracture of his elbow or his shoulder completely. But I think overall, Piyush Chawla is a good selection, especially when he has taken 4 wickets. I told him, encouraged him.
Okay, it's a little hard to focus with that much of sniffling going on. But while we move away from Shrikant, Nikhil, I'm trying to figure out what they did with Dean Jones, because I thought we had him on our show.
I am the World Cup fairy godmother. I tell you, this is what it's about.
That doesn't look like a wand, though.
That is.
And that's not very appropriate godmother
clothing. I tell you what these are for. They're for bouncing balls. That's what they're for. That's what they do. But anyway, can I just tell you, I'm going to ask these two wonderful gentlemen, what be one wish if I asked you for the World Cup? What can I grant you if you wanted one wish for this World Cup? What would it be, Sonny?
Well, quite obviously, Mahendra Singh Dhoni lifting the trophy on the 2nd of April.
Is that your greatest wish?
Yes.
Oh, I hope you're there to relive it. And yours?
Then I don't have to spend an evening with you.
That, my dear friend, I can grant you. Don't I look good? You like my straps?
Okay, I just want to say that Sunny was intending to be as sporting as Ajay and Dino was, but there was a slight problem. We asked him to do Dracula. Sunny, what was the problem with Dracula and with the mooch?
Well, I mean, I saw the teeth and I said, hang on a minute, I cannot be seen wearing that because my grandkids would never come to me again. They would just run away from me.
So, but we gave you the option of a mooch as well.
Well, if I had a mooch which he was wearing, then my wife would never come to me again. So
do you want that back again?
And right
now
after...
you know why I picked the mooch.